Good morning, students. From today we start with the unit 4. In this unit we have to study about the internal structure of, that is primary structure of dicot stem. Example is sunflower. In sunflower we have to study internal structure of root, stem, leaf, and in monocot we have to study about the internal structure of again next root, stem and leaf. Then secondary structure of moringa. Then the anomalous secondary structure in boravia, dicot stem, and dracena, monocot stem, and again the anomalous secondary growth in root, that is beetroot. This is your fourth unit, and today we start with the primary structure in sunflower root. The diagram shows, upper diagram, it is a diagrammatic representation of TS of sunflower root, and below diagram shows the magnified structure or cellular details of the root of sunflower in transverse sections. That in transverse sections the root of sunflower shows the following layers. They are epiblema, means in case of root the outermost layer is called as epiblema, while in case of stem the outermost layer is called as epidermis. The internally root of sunflower shows epiblema, cortex, endodermis, pericycle, conjunctive tissue and vascular bundles, and in the center of the root teeth is present. The epiblema, it is also called as piliferous layer. This is formed of a single layer of thin-walled cells. Means the epiblema consists of single layer of thin-walled cells. Some of the cells are enlarged outwards to form tubular and unicellular root hairs. Means the root hairs develops from the outermost layer, that is epiblema. Then cortex. Below the epiblema many layers of parenchyma with intercellular spaces are present. The cells contain leucoplast and starch. Sometimes the epiblema degenerate and the outer layer of cortex get cutinized to form exodermis. Means just below the epiblema cortex is present. It consists of many layers of parenchymatous cells having large number of intercellular spaces, and these cells contain leucoplast or starch and starch in them. Sometimes the epiblema degenerate and the outer layer of cortex get cutinized to form exodermis. Then endodermis. This is the innermost layer of the cortex and forms a ring of compact barrel-shaped cells around the vascular bundles or stele. The vascular bundles, the radial and also the inner walls are thickened, means the radial walls as well as inner walls of the endodermis, they are thickened. The radial thickening is in the form of Casparian strips. Intercellular spaces are absent as it is a single layered structure. Intercellular spaces are absent. Just above the protoxylem and also at other places, some cells of endodermis remain thin walled and are known as passage cells. Means the endodermis, it is a single layer, most layer, it is the innermost layer of cortex, and it consists of compact barrel shaped cells around the stele. The radial and inner walls are thickened. Just above the protoxylem and also at other places, some cells of endodermis, they remain thin walled and known as passage cells. Means name indicates the entry of water takes place through these passage cells. Then pericycle. It is the outermost layer of the stele lying just below the epidermis. It consists of thin-walled small cells with abundance of cytoplasm. In the pericycle, it is single layered and it is the outermost layer of stele or vascular bundles, vascular tissue lying just below the endodermis. And the pericycle consists of thin-walled small cells with abundance cytoplasm. Then conjunctive tissue. The tissue lying between the xylem and phloem bundles is parenchymatous and it is called conjunctive tissue. The tissue which is present in between the xylem and phloem bundle, it is parenchymatous, it is called as conjunctive tissue. Then vascular bundles. The vascular bundles, they are radially arranged. Means as we see in the types of vascular bundle, in root the vascular bundles are radially arranged. Means the number of xylem and phloem bundles are 4 each. Means the xylem bundles are 4 as well as phloem bundles. Therefore, it is called as tetrad condition. The two types of bundles, that is xylem and phloem bundles, alternate with each other and arrange in a ring, and they are present on different radius. The protoxylem element is present towards the pericycle, while the metaxylem element is present towards the central peak. Therefore, the condition is called as Exarch condition. The protoxylem consists of annular and spiral vessels, and metaxylem has reticulate and pitted vessels. The phloem consists of sieve tubes, companion cells, and phloem parenchyma. Opposite each phloem bundle, towards endodermis, a patch of sclerenchyma is present. In the thick-walled sclerenchymatous cells are present just opposite to each phloem group or phloem bundle towards the endodermis. Then last part, that is peat. This is the central parenchymatous structure, means the peat, it consists of central part which is made up of parenchymatous cells. It is very small in size. It is soon changed to thick walled tissue, means in the young condition it is parenchymatous, while in later stage it gets changed to thick walled tissue, that is sclerenchyma. This is the internal structure or primary structure of sunflower root. The characteristic feature of the sunflower root is there are presence of 4 bundles of xylem as well as 4 bundles of phloem group. They are radially arranged and they alternate with one another, present on different radius. As there are 4 groups of xylem as well as phloem bundle, the condition is called as tetrarch condition, and the tissue which is present in between the xylem and phloem vascular bundles, it is parenchymatous, called as conjunctive tissue, and opposite to each phloem bundle towards the endodermis or pericycle, there is thick walled tissue, that is sclerenchyma is present. These are the characteristic features of sunflower root. Thank you.